Very much so, Andrew. Well, we'll start at the beginning of the week where new MPs started arriving at Parliament, getting acquainted with the area and also registering themselves. And at the moment, we've had that vote for National Assembly Speaker. It's now a lunch break. During that time, the votes will be counted. But now with me is some of the newcomers to Parliament and also, should we say, one of the youngest MPs in Parliament, 24-year-old Yusuf Cassim. Firstly, Yusuf, congratulations. You first-time MP, you're the youngest in Parliament. Firstly, how does that make you feel? Is there any pressure on you at all?
I don't think the pressure is on myself alone. I think the pressure is on all of us, particularly within the DA. We set very high standards for our MPs when we serve the electorate, when we serve South Africans, and we'll all stand up to that pressure. We'll use it to drive us ourselves to make sure that we leave no stone unturned as we discharge our duties.
24 years old, you only graduated from Nelson Mandela Bay University last year. Do you specifically come here to Parliament representing the youth, or do you come here thinking that you have a mandate to represent the youth, considering your age?
I think first and foremost, none of us represent a specific demographic when we come to Parliament. We're here to represent all South Africans. But being a young person, being a former student leader and SRC president and having led young South Africans across the country, of course, issues that affect young people are closest to my heart. I would make sure that those issues are not neglected as they have been in the past, to make sure that they are at the forefront of Parliament's agenda within discussions in portfolio committees, and that we can fight collectively, not just the young members within our caucus, but all of our members for a better deal for young people.
Now, during the build-up to the general elections and over the elections itself, a lot was said about youth voter apathy and the youth being apathetic towards politics. Do you think that has changed in any way over the last 20 years, or do you still see as youth still trying to find their way, trying to get involved in politics?
I think it's a more general question. If you look at the number of people that have voted since '94, in general, the number of people that have voted has decreased. And many South Africans, and young South Africans as well, have felt that our political system, our justice system, it's not just confined to politics, have failed them. They are confined for a select few. When we see charges against particular people, because they are perhaps number one, they can disappear, or certain sittings of Parliament, because it's concerning number one, can be called to a hold and be disbanded like that. As a young person, you look at these things, you internalize them, and you feel, what type of difference does it really make to myself, to my life, to my future? But I would like to personally encourage young people to say that we have the greatest responsibility to take responsibility for our future, for the stake that we have, and we are the biggest stakeholders in the future of this country, and to take responsibility for that and play an active role as we go forward. If we stand together as young people and agitate for our issues, and it doesn't have to be along political lines, but agitate for our issues, we can ensure that those issues remain relevant.
Now, just my final question. This year we also celebrate 20 years of democracy. 20 years ago you were about a toddler, 4 years old. Did you ever envisage a future in politics for yourself?
Not at all. In fact, I studied accounting originally, and politics, I think, for a lot of people comes at a particular time, and it's like a call-in. It started with student politics. It started with wanting to represent an alternative to the type of oppressive governance that was taking place, even at a small level at a university. And from there, I saw a responsibility to then move and serve and avail myself wherever is necessary, where I can serve South Africans. And I've also been given the opportunity, many young people in the DA have been given that opportunity. We've seen with our DA Young Leaders program, and in provinces across the country, it's been an open and fair process where you are not judged on any type of demographic, you're not judged on your age, your religion, or anything otherwise, but really on what are you capable of and what can you offer to South Africans. And that is why we feel that we can make a contribution. We've been allowed to make a contribution, and we're very proud to be representing the DA.
Know more. enca.com